Hey guys, so I've had a few people ask me about how I did the paint job for the Armoured Batman. So I'm going to do a little tutorial today. Never done one before, so cut me a bit of slack if it's not so great. So I'm going to practice on, well, I'm going to show you on an old gauntlet. So I'm going to show you how to basically go from this to this kind of look here, if I'm catching that on the camera. So here we go. Basically, this is what I've been using. So this is all the stuff you need for it. All of it. Oh, I should keep it the same way, shouldn't I? All of the tools you'll need. So, Plasti Dip, everyone knows that, just plain black Plasti Dip. Next order will be this one, very important. Macho Grey, hammered metal finish. Yeah. That one, super chrome. Now this one, you could pretty much use any shiny silver, I think would work. And then the copper, which is just for the blades on the side of the gauntlet. A really crappy little black kind of, whatever the hell that is, black acrylic paint. So it's pretty crappy, that stuff, but that's sort of what I was after. And then another kind of, where is that? Another little acrylic paint, flat black. And I've actually all out of this, so I might not be able to use that. I'll try something different for today. But anyway, so what I've done on this one here, all I've done is I've already coated it in two layers of Plasti Dip. Some people do lots more than two, but I find two is plenty. And I've coated it in one layer of this paint. So that's all I've done so far because I didn't want to have to wait around for that to dry. Okay, so then I'll show you what's next. Yeah. Alright, so the next thing I'm doing, getting a bit of the satin acrylic paint. And I put just a big kind of glob into here. Just kind of that. And then basically I'm just using like a ratty old brush that's pretty solid, not putting any water on it, anything like that. And all I'm going to do, dab the brush in that so it's got some crap all over it. And then I'm just going to kind of do this. Now it looks kind of crap as you start doing it and you think this is not going to work. And so I'm doing like that. I start to rub it in more and more and more and more and more. Now basically what I do, because obviously that's crap, you don't want it to look like that, get an old rag, start kind of just rubbing it. Just rub that in a bit so it's, it gives it a little bit of a darker shade already. Start rubbing that, back to the crappy brush, rubbing it a bit more. I'm going to do that all over. So at this point it's kind of dried a bit, the paint, so you can, it sort of gets a better look to it now once it's a bit more dry. It gets in all the little cracks there. Just a bit more of that. I really start to smash it in there. Now if there's any bits that you finish and you go, oh that's too dark and it won't, it won't rub off. See, I've probably gone a bit dark there, but we'll see. I'll show you how to get rid of that later. So I'll keep going with this. Again, it looks kind of crap when you first put it on. Doesn't quite go where you want it to look, but it'll get there. Depending on how, you can obviously go darker if you want to go darker, but I was struggling to find the right shade of grey. That's what really killed me, is that shade of grey was really annoying to find. I went through about 10 different spray paints. So again, you can kind of see that that's starting to look a bit more, the right sort of shade. Kind of ratty grey colour, weathered sort of grey colour. So this is one of my gauntlets I originally made that didn't kind of work out, so just practicing on that. But already you can kind of see that colour's kind of It's almost right. So that's all I've done so far. Ratty brush, I should say. Rubbed it all over. So a few bits of that are probably a bit dark. So just grab a little low grit sanding stick. It's just sandpaper attached to a wooden stick. And the bits that are a bit too dark, I just kind of sand over, pull off a bit of that top layer paint. Give it a little brush, and just takes it down a little bit. You don't want to go too much. Alright. So that's, I mean, you know, that's almost the colour you want already. That's basically, it's almost there. Again, I'm really impatient, so I do everything really quickly. But anyway, so there's that bit. And that's already dry, you know, that's already touch dry. And I get the Super Chrome. By the way, I keep looking behind the camera because I've got a mirror there to make sure I am filming the right spot. Super Chrome. Old rag. Give it a shake. And just go, you know, not heaps on it, just a little bit on there. Kind of rub it in a bit so it's not too strong. And then basically I just go over and hit some of the edges. Just a light wipe along the edges. Just like that. You know, any of the joins or anything, give it a bit of a wipe. Oh shit, see, I stuffed a little bit there, but that's alright. And you can tell already, like, it gives you that, just a little bit of a better weathered look along the edges, just to make it look a bit, you know, like it's old metal. Super easy, probably need a bit more now. Touch it together. Yeah, just along those edges again, a bit more. I'm not doing any of these yet because I'll do that with a different, with the copper. So yeah, you can see that it's sort of got that metal look now. I sometimes just do a little, once it's really dry, I'll just do a little like run over the whole thing. And with it, just to get, just give a few highlights then on some spots you might want to get. And yeah, again, you can see I've done too much there, so I'll just hit that with a standing stick, and already that's already gone. So I'll probably, you know, and again, if you want spots that look a bit more like dry and aged, you can do that too. You just give it a bit of a hit with the sanding stick, and it just kind of gives you a different texture. But you know, as you can see, that's basically the colour you want. That's like almost, it's fantastic. Next thing, so that'll do for now. You can go harder on that if you want, but that's about as far as I go. Now because I'm out of this one, I'm just going to use something else I bought today and see if it works. It might be crap, but we'll see. Give this one a go. It's just another sort of satin finish paint. Crap. Little metal thing on it. Alrighty, this is squirt in there. Move that out of the way. So I've just got a normal kind of brush that's pointed so I can get into some gaps. Put a tiny bit on the end, it's probably too much, but, and then basically I'll just go in the gaps with it. So I'll just hit in there, and it looks kind of crap at first. Just looks like a bit of black, but you can kind of, I just put my finger in and kind of rub it in those gaps. Just a bit of a rub in there, just gives it a little highlight that you kind of, well, not a highlight, but Just gives it a little more detail, makes it a little darker in those sort of bits. Yeah, a bit more, another rub. You know, this paint is not too bad. I've never used this one before, but it's kind of working well. And then again, just, you know, along those lines there. This is really rough, by the way, but give it a little wipe with your finger or a rag, just to give it some extra depth in there. And you can do that on, like, you know, if you've got these kind of lines as well that I've cut out there, you could do, sometimes I'll just run a bit of black along them. It'll look crap at first, but again, you just, that was bad wipe, but you just then wipe along the top with a rag. It kind of just makes it a little darker in them. Not much, but yeah. So I'm not going to go too nuts on that, because otherwise you'll be watching forever, but that's the idea. That, boom. Too easy. So next thing, I'm going to go for this. I'll just mask off. I'll do this really roughly, because otherwise it's going to take too long. But I'll just put some masking tape along here. There. Along this side. Alright, I'm not going to go too nuts, because again, this is just an old one, so I don't really care if it gets crap. So masked off that. I'm going to just spray paint this. I probably won't do it at the camera. Should be outside, but yeah. Whatever. Alright, I'll let that dry. But basically, once I've done that, once that's dry, I just do the same shit with the ratty black thing. I just run a bit of black over just to weather it a tiny bit. Like, you can barely see any on this one. So that's sort of what I've done, just a really quick touch with the black. And then again with the silver, just grabbing a rag and putting a little just on the edges just to give it that kind of metal look. And that's it. It's super simple. Again though, this is the key. This one. If you get that shade of grey, that'll work. So when, you know, that with a bit of black, boom. I think that's it.